Hello and welcome to Shop Talk with Dan the Man. In today's video, we're going to talk about tool belts. So whether you're a DIYer, whether you're a hobbyist, or whether you are someone that does this for a living, your tool belt is one of your main pieces of gear and it should not be overlooked. So whether this comes down to comfort, efficiency, or productivity, your tool belt is definitely something you need to dive into and make sure that you have the proper setup. So stay tuned. I have 10 things I want to go over with you on tool belts.
Hello, my name is Dan Shannon. I'm a DIYer and a woodworking hobbyist who loves being out in the shop. On this channel, I share tool reviews and shop projects for DIYers, homeowners, and hobbyists. If this grabs you by the tool belt, consider subscribing for more videos like this.
Hello and welcome to Shop Talk with Dan the Man. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. In today's episode, we are going to talk about whether you're framing a house, whether you're working on odd jobs, whether you're a DIYer, or you're just out in your shop. What you need for a tool belt. So there's lots of variety, lots of different types. This is a DeWalt one that I'm wearing now. This is a tool rig. So I did a review on this tool pouch or tool rig. I'll put a link right here so you can watch that. So basically, what do you need and what will work for your shop? So we're going to cover 10 different things. I'm going to go through 10 different things I think are important when it comes to a tool belt, what to look for, different types of designs. And then in the end, I'm going to show you what I have, which is this here, and kind of what I use it for and what I would use in my tool belt on a regular basis. So let's dive into the first thing. All right, so the first thing is why your tool belt matters. So a good tool belt is one of the most important pieces of gear a carpenter can own. A proper setup of your belt keeps most of your tools within reach, saves you time on the job, reduces unnecessary trips up and down the ladder. On the flip side, a poorly set up tool belt can slow you down, wear you out, and even lead to back or hip pain over time. So that's the first thing, is why a tool belt matters. So the second thing we're going to go over is the different types of tool belts. Not all tool belts are the same. The main styles you can see on the job sites today, including traditional leather tool belts, lightweight nylon options, and then modern Mullager systems. So you can customize the different pockets on each side, change the layout. So whether it's durability, weight, or cost, the comforts and the differences between them, and which type depends on the kind of carpentry you're doing. So that's the second thing, is the different types of tool belts. So the third thing I want to go over is leather versus nylon versus hybrid belts. So what does that mean? It means a deeper look into materials and how they hold up over time. So this is a nylon belt system. I do have a leather belt system. So leather belts are known for durability and they have a classic carpenter look. So kind of have that old school carpenter look, but they can be heavy and require a break-in period. So if you get it brand new, it can require a break-in period, everything's stiff. Your belt line, might dig in a little bit until the leather softens up and you're able to bend. Nylon belts are lighter and often cheaper, but they may not last as long with heavy use, which makes sense. Leather lasts for a very long time. And of course, nylon over time, it can get holes, frays, so on and so forth. I haven't put this through a rigorous test over the years, so I'm not sure how it will hold up, but I'm a light user of a tool belt. I'm not a heavy user, so if you did it day in, day out, leave some comments below actually if you're a carpenter that uses leather versus nylon. And then hybrid systems combine best of both worlds. So they got the leather and the nylon kind of together. The fourth thing I want to talk about is suspenders versus waist only belts. So what that means is I have suspenders on this one, and the ones that have just the waist only, obviously it goes without saying, they're not suspendered belts. So how does that work? If you're carrying tools all day, it can be hard on your hips and back. So if I didn't have the suspenders, all the weight is on my hips and then on my back. So that's the kind of the bad side of having just a hip belt, which doesn't have the suspenders. So with the suspenders, it helps distribute the weight all around your body. So that's the pro, having suspenders versus the waist only or the hip only belt system. And I will say, having this on, it kind of feels like your full body is connected into your belt. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall off. The weight's very distributed all around your body. When you're bending, moving, it feels like it's kind of all encompassed on your person, which is really nice. So the fifth thing I want to talk about is what tools should you actually carry. So one of the biggest mistakes carpenters make, and myself as a hobbyist, is they carry too much. So the essential tools that you need for carpenters keeping their belt, things like a hammer. So I got the hammer on the back, that's mounted behind me. Tape measure, I have here on the front. Utility knife, a speed square, I have that on my side here. Speed square, pencil, a nail puller, a few fasteners. The goal is to carry what you consistently use, not your entire toolbox. So for a long time, I didn't really have my tool belt customized properly. So I would just have random stuff kind of thrown in here. But a lot of times if you're on the job, say you're a framer, there's certain things you would go to every day in your tool belt. So basically think of that, and it's just what I said there: hammer, tape measure, utility knife, speed square, pencil, nail puller, and a few fasteners. And then anything else you can think of. I have usually a small claw that I'll keep in my tool belt for pulling out little nails, which is handy. But you don't want to get too bogged down with your tool belt is the key. Especially if you're in the shop, usually, I say usually, I don't usually wear this. I got something smaller that I wear, but when you're outside, you don't want to do constant trips up and down the ladder, so you want to make sure everything is on your person. All right, so the sixth thing I wanted to go over is how to set up your tool belt efficiently. So placement matters. The experienced carpenters organize their belts for tools to fall naturally into their hands without even thinking. So for me, my dominant hand is my right hand, so I like to have my tape. I have it in my pouch here, but I had it on the front. I like to have that in my right hand. So that's my go-to, my pencil, main things that I go to on a regular basis. I want a natural grab. I don't have my tape on my left side because that's not my dominant hand. That's not where I go naturally to grab my tape. It's always my right side. So having that set up properly is keeping that natural, and it feels natural. You're not like, oh, where's my tape measure? And you always put it in your left pocket. So you're searching around your right side, and then you're causing a time delay, and it's just not a natural. So plan it based on your setup and how you feel when it comes to your tool belt. Now, it might not be natural at first. It might take a little bit to get used to figuring out where your layout is. Maybe you're always reaching for your pencil on your left side for some reason, not the right side. So then just kind of move that over to your left side once you kind of get used to that. But most people that have been doing carpentry for a long time do have a dominant side where they like to place their tools. So just work with that. So the seventh thing I want to talk about is balancing the weight of your tool belt. So whether that's nails, don't have a huge bunch of nails here. So say you're doing framing and you have a framing nailer, you have a whole bunch of lengths of nails for the magazine on this side, and then this side is empty. Try to balance out the best you can so that the weight is evenly distributed on your body. You don't have huge weight here kind of pulling you to the side, which I actually used to. I had one pouch, of course, I favored, so I had every single thing in it, and you were kind of like walking like this as you were going. That's obviously overstated, but you get what I'm point is don't have everything on one side. So balance out the weight of your tool belt. And I like the fact that the hammer is on the back here because I don't use it a whole lot, but when I do, it's tucked out of the way. So that's now a new favorite of mine, having the hammer on the back of my belt. So the next thing I want to talk about, number 8, is comfort and fit tips. So adjusting your belt so it fits properly. This includes choosing the right belt size, adjusting your pouches to the right position, and making sure your belt sits comfortably on your hips instead of digging into your lower back. So having it a bit lower so it's not resting on your lower back, bring it down, and then adjusting your belt so it's nice and firm but not too tight. I do like this new belt system. It's very well padded, it's quite wide, so I find it distributes the weight accordingly, and of course since it's padded, that feels really nice. And then we got the double system, Velcro, and then of course the belt mechanism. So I really like this setup. It's very comfortable. I don't feel like it's pushing on any part of my lower back or my hips. So I love the placement of this particular belt. And the pockets were actually too far back on this belt when I first got it. So I just unvelcroed them and slid them up ahead a bit more because I like to have them more this way than back. So that's preference. It's all preference at the end of the day. So number 9, common tool belt mistakes. So over the years, myself have made some tool belt mistakes by overloading the tool belt. We did talk about balancing the weight in number 7, but basically just overloading it, having it too chaotic was an issue. And a lot of times when you have it overloaded, not in the particular job you're doing, but long term, it can actually affect your back and have serious issues on your health. So make sure you don't overload your tool belt. Like I used to have circular saw clipped on, my drill, my this and that. I looked like something that was coming out of some sort of a crazy movie, with all this gear on. But you don't really need to do that. Only carry what the job requires and go from there. So that's a tip. Don't make those mistakes when it comes to your tool belt. Make sure that you have everything set up the way you need to have it set up. And now I'm going to jump into number 10, which is my personal setup on my tool belt. So how do I have mine set up? What are the things that I have in my tool belt? And what would I recommend for a hobbyist or someone like myself to have their tool belt set up like? Basically, I have a few essentials that I keep on me at all times, and then depending on the job, if I'm doing trim work, I'll have my brad nailer with some magazine clips, some brad nails, kind of customize as I go. But some of the staples is I have my tape measure on the front of my bag. I have a pencil, carpenter's pencil. I actually have 2, got one on either side. In case I leave one at a tool or somewhere else, I always have a spare. I have a buck knife. So this is actually my dad's. It's kind of a family heirloom. He's had it for years and he passed it on to me. So that's pretty cool. Buck knife, I have that in there. And then also I use some bits for my drill, so I have a little case. Rigid has these little bits that you can get. They have a little case, so great for a drill if you're not sure what you're going to be drilling or what screw you're going to be backing out. Just have some bits on board. Speed square, have that on board all times for doing 90-degree, 45 different angles. Get a straight edge. So if I'm using my circular saw, I can have a straight edge to use as a guide, or my jigsaw, so that I have with me at all times. So I want to say that is pretty much it. Wouldn't mind having my hole punch in here, a couple other odds and ends that I mentioned. But for the most part, that's kind of it. Depending on, like I said, the job that I'm going to, I'll equip this ahead of time. And then when I go on the job site, I'll have the exact tools for the particular job that I'm tackling. All right, so that has been 10 things about tool belts. Now, at the end of the day, I want to make this really clear. It doesn't matter what type of tool belt, if you have the leather, nylon, the ones with different custom pockets, suspenders, no suspenders, all that boils down to preference. It's all about preference. I'd recommend the suspenders because of back, hip issues, all that later on. I myself am getting older, so having the suspenders will help distribute the weight and so on and so forth, but it is not necessary to have. Also a good point, if you do have the old school apron, the leather tool pouch, you can buy suspenders that have clips. They just clip on front and back, so you can utilize the suspenders on an old set of tool belts. So you don't need to go out and purchase this newer one. You can use your old one and just upgrade it with suspenders. So thanks for watching today's video. Hopefully you got a little bit out of this video, kind of some ideas behind tool belts, the different types of tool belts, and organizing your tool belt to make it custom fit you. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. If you're comfortable with your setup and you work, it's part of your body, you know exactly where your tools are, you're not lopsided from too much weight, you're carrying everything just fine, then that's exactly where you need to be when it comes to your shop. So whether you're a DIYer, a homeowner, or a hobbyist, or even a professional carpenter, make sure you do some research, find the belt that works for you, and just jump into it. And if you like the belt that I have on, this is the DeWalt tool rig. There's a link here. And also, if you want to purchase it, I can leave a link below. And share your comments. If you have a different type of belt that I haven't mentioned, or maybe there's some thoughts that you have, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear them. Please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not part of the Shop Talk family, please click on that subscribe link down below. We'd love to have you on board, talk anything tools and shop related. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have yourself a great day, and I will see you on the next one.